My exposure to eye care has a very unique history. My parents went to Thailand as missionaries in 1950. I was born in Thailand, lived there till I was about 18, except for about every 5 years we got a chance to come to the States to go on furlough. And my exposure to eye care were boxes of eyewear that good-meaning people in the States would put together, or excess capacity, and they would send these overseas, and my parents would take them out to the villages, and the villagers would come and try them on, and if something fit and they could see better, they took them home. So that was the quality of eye care I had as a child. When I came back to the States, I think I was 14 for one of my parents' furloughs. It was every 5 years. A well-meaning parishioner, one of the church members, thought I might need glasses, and so she took me to an eye doctor here in the States. And sure enough, I did need glasses and got my first pair of glasses because of the generosity of a church member. And that same year that we were here, my father needed cornea transplants, and he ended up also with a detached retina following the transplant because he was too active afterwards, didn't take good care of himself. So he had that taken care of, and we would never have been able to get that done in Thailand. So we were very fortunate in the wonderful eye care that this country offered, and so I really had an appreciation for the work that Prevent Blindness does because of my rather different background. We've not really done a good culture of developing the idea that you need to go get eye exams. The dentists have done a wonderful job. I mean, I remember it used to be every year. Now you have to go every 6 months and get your dental checkup. But we've never really gotten people used to the idea that you should go often and get eye checkups as well. And so I think that the mission of Prevent Blindness is very unique in that it really focuses on the prevention side. Get regular eye checkups. Prevent that problem before it starts, especially in young children where you can prevent the lazy eye. And if you don't catch the lazy eye, they become permanently blind in one eye, but it's so easy to catch and so easy to treat. So we really have to work harder and do a better job of building a culture of eye care is every bit as important as a medical checkup, every bit as important as getting your teeth examined so that you can catch those problems before they develop. It's a lot easier to lose a tooth than it is to lose an eye, but we spend a lot more money and time on our teeth than we do our eyes. I've been involved with Prevent Blindness for 20 years now, and we have made a lot of great strides. We've done countless eye exams and helped children and helped people who are disabled and old folks. But there's still a whole population out there that is aging, developing more eye problems. There's a whole group of kids that are coming forward that haven't had the right eye care yet or haven't ever been to an eye doctor yet. So our mission is continuing, and every bit as important as the day I started. We have not in any way licked the problem. There's much to be done. So as we come up on our 50 years, we can be proud of the record that we have, but we should also be recommitted and rededicated to the idea that we can make a difference in vision, we can make a difference in prevention, and our mission is every bit as important now for the next 50 years as it was for the last 50 years. Part of the problem of vision loss is you don't have anything to compare to when you're a child. And you don't know that you can't see as well as other kids because you've never experienced seeing better. So the reason that what we do is so important in catching children with eye vision problems is they don't know to tell an adult, I can't see that blackboard. They think everybody has the same problem seeing the blackboard and they just sit closer or whatever. So, I didn't really know how bad off I was, but an adult recognized it, and an adult suggested, why don't we just get an eye exam and see? And that's the beauty of the work Prevent Blindness does, is it helps people understand you may not know you even have a vision problem, and that's why you need to get your child checked. And so fortunately somebody saw that in me, got me checked, and sure enough, I needed glasses and used them ever since. Well, one of the missions that we focus on in Prevent Blindness is trying to train doctors, practitioners, nurses that see well babies to include eye exams as part of their care, because children, as I said, children don't understand that they can't see. They don't recognize that they have a problem. To them, that is their normal world. And so you may not be aware that a child has a vision problem, but it should be part of the regular checkup that we do when we have an infant coming in for the infant's regular visits. And so one of the programs we work on is trying to make sure all of the doctors offer that as part of their well baby care. But then as you move into the older age, preschool and such, that again, you don't take your children to the doctor very often unless they're sick at that age, and you may not know your child is developing myopia or your child is developing lazy eye, and that's where it's very important still to get those eye exams to make sure you uncover those problems before they become a permanent problem and your child has lost vision in that eye. About 5 years ago, I started really getting involved in persons with mental illness who end up in and out of the prison system. I was a trial judge for 7 years, had lots of people come in that had serious mental illnesses, drug and alcohol problems, often both together. And then as I became a justice, I continued to have an interest in this area. And one of the things that is a problem is that a lot of times folks who we want to put on probation and we tell them to go get a job, well, they can't see. They may have had their glasses broken. For example, I remember one gentleman had his glasses broken in a street brawl, and we got him into rehabilitation and we got him into a drug and alcohol program, but he couldn't get a job because he couldn't see. And so by being able to get him a pair of glasses, he was able to get a job, something that simple. But a lot of these people also have absolutely no health care, no eye vision care, often homeless, and so again, an important service that Prevent Blindness does is trying to reach out to people who are in shelters or homeless or maybe struggling to try to start that job and say, let's get your eyes checked because that may be an impediment to employment. And if we can at least get rid of that one small hurdle, that can make a huge difference. It seems like a small thing, but can make the difference between getting a job and not getting a job. I have been a volunteer for many years in my life, and it probably has a lot of roots in the fact that my parents were missionaries and inspired me to just believe that I needed to give back to the community. But I find that people who volunteer get really a lot more out of it than they even give. When they are able to help with vision screenings or education or even fundraising, because all those activities couldn't occur without the people willing to engage in fundraising, and you find a child who was not able to see out of one eye because of lazy eye that has now restored vision, that's worth all the time and effort you put into the issue. And it is so rewarding that people who volunteer truly get more out of it than they ever give. I've been involved with Prevent Blindness for 20 years now, and part of that time I served on some national committees with Prevent Blindness America and had a wonderful opportunity to see all of the different organizations come together under that umbrella. The work that Prevent Blindness has done in prevention, in education, in training has been really important, but it's really like only beginning because our population is aging with all of the diseases that occur with aging. We still have a whole group of young kids coming forward that are going to need eye care and eye prevention and education. So the work of Prevent Blindness America is every bit as important now as it has been for the last 100 years. And we need to rededicate ourselves for the next 100 years and really work hard on this issue and make those as productive as the last 100 years have been.